this case well. You've been watching it. You said that your mom's even been following it. By her own admission, her mom says that she allowed her boyfriend, who's not a part of the family, that this is not her husband, this is a boyfriend, to go and sleep with the daughter. Is this something that's like outrageous, or is this something that's normal in a community somewhere?
In Latinos?
I didn't even want to say it, but like
I'll say it. It's unfiltered. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
By the way, when I look like I'm smiling, everyone, I'm just trying to cover up the surgery. I really want to go like be surprised, but I have stitches. So in my mind right now, I'm going and I'm upset. So I'm going to go like this when I'm upset. So, when I heard about this and you want to hop on, it was last minute. My parents had just walked in. I surprised them. I'm out of state and they wanted to watch Wheel of Fortune and Family Feud or whatever, one of the shows. And I told them, no, I have to hop on. My father retired from the city and my mother at a well-known hospital that treated all the COVID patients. My dad doesn't follow this. So he's, microphone, Zoom, but he goes, what are you doing? He goes, we're going to have family time. I said, no, I'm hopping on. So my mom knows. She's trying to tell him, Junior, Jennifer Soto. He goes, what is this about? Once she said this one statement, the mother's boyfriend was sleeping with the daughter. My father's eating his Chinese food, dropped the fork, got upset. And I even told him, come on the podcast, Dad. Tell them what you just told me. My dad went like this. He goes, unbelievable. And he's, devout Christian man. And he said the word, he dropped the bomb. And he doesn't know the story. So let's start with that. My dad doesn't know anything about this. My parents worked for Elmhurst Hospital, New York City. My mom worked for psych. She was a secretary, but she worked with psychiatrists. My dad worked midnights, and this ties into this one part of Jennifer Soto. We grew up poor, or, basic. We lived in a small 1-bedroom duplex, and it was 1 bedroom. My dad took the midnight shift so that we could have our own bed. And when we were young, we slept with my mom. But then when we were school age, my mom was on the couch, sofa bed. My dad was at work. And on the weekends when he was off, he had sofa bed with mom. We had our own, whatever room. And we never, ever even saw my dad in his pajamas. Okay? We were raised low income. I was also raised in Puerto Rico. I have family who live in the same exact town where Jennifer Soto lives. I have an uncle who we all have that crazy uncle in the family. Mm-hmm. My uncle is off. I love him. He's a veteran, but he has chemical issues. And he called me from Kissimmee and told me, you better tell them I never slept with my kids. I never slept with my grandchildren, and I never will over my dead body.
It's not normal. It's just not normal.
But people try to play the race card, Ronnie, and they try to say, oh, I'm going to speak, and I don't want to offend people in the group. But as Puerto Ricans, I'm going to try to identify as closely as possible to this family. Low income Puerto Ricans with the crazy uncle. We've never been exposed to this family dynamic of the sleeping part. Mm-hmm. Even with my mother. When we were school age, when we were old enough to know that you don't sleep with other people except yourself and the person you end up with down the road, my mother didn't sleep with us. And my mother never summons us to sleep anywhere. In fact, we were not allowed to go to sleepovers, and we had to come home, and we could not sleep at our friend's house except my one friend that I'm still best friends with. So let's identify that. My mother chimed in, but she won't come on. She's shy, which is, I'm being facetious. She said when she worked in psychiatry, when a parent presented with bipolar or schizophrenia in New York, I can't speak for Florida, but Florida is a little bit more proactive. And
Jenn Soto is admitting that she suffers from these two.
I had them see the trailer, okay?
Yep.
She's admitting, she's sitting like this. I'm on my medicine. I'm bipolar. Even watching her, I was getting, I wanted to, get physical with her. When she was saying all that, my mother said, wait a minute, if she really is on this medication, any psychiatrist, psychologist would have done a home assessment. My mother worked in childcare her whole life, and you guys know this. But let's forget about us being cops. For the public out there, you all know this. You have a very intelligent group of people who I wish were on this jury. I love your show because of the subscribers and the people who watch. Everyone in this group can all agree that you don't have to be a doctor to know if someone is on this level of treatment and care and cannot hold a job and cannot articulate a lot of things, as we know, then they need home visits and home supervision. So let's play devil's advocate. Let's go there. Then the doctors let her down. The state let her down. The schools, I was taking notes, the schools with the notebooks let her down. But let's just focus on the medicine.
Preach it, sister. Preach it.
I'm sorry. I'm just so upset when I started watching this again.
Preach it. Preach it.
I literally, my dad had to get me ice. He's like, calm down, calm down. All right.
Hey, Aunt, we love this because we don't have to talk. We just get to listen to you.
Come a day, mama. Come a day.
Okay, let me breathe. And I haven't spoken in 3 weeks. I've been stitched up, so I'm making up for lost time. Okay.
And I love that you agreed to come on, with the stitches and everything. You're awesome. I love you.
Well, you know what? We are cops for life. We are humans for life. And we have to protect Maddie Soto in her passing on. Someone said in the chat, thank God she's out of this misery. And it sounds horrible to say that, but the person who said it, you're right. Scriptures say that anyone who hurts a child, it's like having a millstone around the neck. And God, that's like the ultimate crime, however you believe. Even in the universe, for people who don't believe in God, karma, that's the ultimate karma. So in Maddie's world, we're going to defend her now. The psych eval, if she really is that sick. Now, we all know as us cops talk, and I don't want to offend anyone, that we all know she was bullshitting the detectives. And you're detectives. I'm not. I'm a sergeant.
She's using it as a crutch.
She's using it as a crutch. And what do we know as criminals? They always want to outsmart the professionals. And that's why you're detective first grade, and that's why you were fugitive enforcement, getting these bad guys. You guys know the mind of a criminal. You don't have to be a therapist. No offense to the therapist. So she was playing the wrong card. But let's talk about something you glossed over. And I won't be long about this, but this bothered me. Speaking of the culture. Remember my crazy uncle?
Yeah.
Everyone told me as a kid that he was sick. Now, it wasn't until I worked with DutyRon in the Warrant Division that I got a phone call that my sick uncle had a little problem with the police. So I'll leave it at that. You can all figure it out. And that night when we went out there, I was working in warrants. When we went out there to go find the sick uncle, I'm thinking I'm going to the hospital, right? Because where do sick people go? Hospital. Right. No, he was in a jail cell. That was a night I found out that he wasn't sick in the way I thought. I found out he was an addict. Mm-hmm. Maddie's family protected this abuse. They had a little relationship. Stephan had a little breakup. No one wanted him there, because they all knew what he really was and they all knew what he was about, but no one spoke up. So I gotta be honest, I'm kind of a little annoyed with the family. The family knew, guys, and Jennifer knew.
Not just Jennifer's family,
his
Steven's family, Stephan's family knew. They paid off people. They enabled this behavior, right? They didn't give him the help he needed.
Bingo, Yahtzee.